If you need to undergo surgery, you may have to pay the hospital before you go under the knife. A new report details how more hospitals are refusing to perform elective surgeries unless the patient pays in full beforehand. Hospitals now collect 23% of what patients owe before treatment. That's according to analysis conducted by consulting and technology company Kodiak Solutions for the Wall Street Journal. CBS News senior consumer investigative correspondent Anna Werner is here to break this all down for us. And I understand that federal law requires hospitals to provide emergency care. We were talking about elective procedures. Talk to us a little bit about those differences.
Right. So if you're going in for an elective procedure, this is something that they're not required to save your life. You go to the emergency room, they're not going to do this, right? No. They can't. But if you need a knee replacement or a hip replacement, some type of procedure that you don't need to have it done right this minute, the hospitals can, and more of them evidently now, according to the data, are requiring that you pay your portion of the money for that procedure up front. In fact, they're going to say if you don't pay, and they have the right to do this, according to Kodiak Solutions, that is a consulting firm that did the data analysis on this, they have the ability to say, yes, if you want your procedure, you're going to have to pay your portion up front, which can get a little tricky because a lot of times you don't know exactly how much that surgery is going to cost. So it's theoretically possible that you could overpay, or even when you pay in advance, that they're still going to bill you something later. So the issue for patients is you're going to be required to pay up front, even though you may not be sure what your insurance is actually going to reimburse you if you have insurance.
I was going to go back to the insurance part because, who has that kind of cash in hand? I remember going to the hospital for stitches and getting a $6,000 bill for, a little cut.
Right.
A lot from family members who have had knee or hip replacement surgeries, they make it sound like it's elective, but it's really necessary, otherwise you go into pain. So, how would this impact people probably most people who need these kinds of surgeries that don't have that kind of cash? And why is it happening more?
Part of it is you can shop around for procedures. If you have insurance, it's very important to know who's in network and out of network, because that will drive your prices up exponentially if it's out of network. So you want to make sure you're in network if you have insurance. Unfortunately, for people who don't have insurance, it may mean shopping around, calling around to different places. You may have to go to a different doctor, a different hospital. It is difficult, but you can call around and get prices. The other thing is hospitals might put you on a payment plan. Or, you're looking at loans, right? Some people are looking at loans for these things, which is not great. Or friends and family support. So it's very difficult if you don't have insurance that covers the majority of the costs, because some of these surgeries can be very expensive.
And how's the practice being justified? Why is it happening more?
Well, according to Kodiak Solutions experts, A, they can do it, and B, they are doing it because they don't want to have to chase the debt after the fact. So if you pay up front, now the hospital doesn't have to engage in collections activity afterward. If you're slow to pay, if you don't pay, they have a lot of bad debt from patients, a certain percentage, people that they know, some percentage of people are probably never going to pay the part that they owe to pay, and they would rather get the money up front. You know what? If you can get the money up front, if you can get paid up front for almost anything, most businesses are going to be like, great, that's what we want. And hospitals are saying that they're struggling financially. They say they're getting squeezed by the insurance companies, and the amount of money that patients are required to pay has grown, over time. So I think for a lot of hospitals, it's like, well, these are elective procedures. We can do it, so we are doing it.
I keep thinking about the people who then are under the pressure of pain or the medical need, and are still cataloged as elective procedures when it's not always
it's true that
case.
some people never have the surgeries they need because they simply can't afford it, so they endure the problems they have.
Anna, thank you so much.